This is for your listening delight. What we're getting at tonight is what is meant to align with the sound of going forward, with evolving with a different perspective in terms of how to approach the nature of media. While typically on some other podcasts there might be some normal topics, today we're going to try to perform a little bit of a self-cleansing ceremony on the self, on the emotions, to try to be able to recalibrate and re-cleanse and recollect ourselves, to be able to try to make and paint a picture of a future self that's one that's a little bit more so optimized in an emotional sense, to be able to be charged with a little bit more turbo abilities, to be able to focus on developing an entrepreneurship self and on an entrepreneurship conceptual mindset that starts from within, to be able to connect with the external elements in life, yeah. So ultimately it is first to be able to be possible to be recognized that all human beings connect to all businesses in the world, regardless of how it seems or whatnot, because there's only 8 billion people in the world, and all 8 billion people are connected to all of the energy that exists within the world, and all of those 8 billion people are also conceptually connected to the conceptual connection to the conceptual elasticity and the conceptual extensive energy that extends from differing jobs around the planet. Every single job on the planet, every single business on the planet, everybody is touching all of these energies at all given times. So therefore, there's an indicative inference that is sort of an underlining intrinsic understanding that there is a necessary alignment with every single job and every single position and every single business with every single human being on the planet at the current present time, in the current present moment in time, at the same time that we are speaking now today. So what this is meant to align with, and what this is meant to draw light on and shed light upon, is the interest to be able to connect all human beings to the potential to be able to do any given thing in the planet. And just like there are millions of pixels on a screen, that there are only so many possibilities with every single configuration of every single pixel and every single conceptual viable concept to paint every conceptual picture that is possible with a couple trillion times squared in terms of pixelation possibilities and such things. And what that corresponds to is the conceptual possibility for every human being to be attached to every conceptual possibility of conceivably developing what they want to do in terms of businesses that they might connect with, or items which relate to processes regarding markets that they might have an interest in, and it makes that possibility possible by just aligning with this conceptualization. And so by providing the concept that every single person is like a shop, every single person is like their own little bit of a market, every single person is like their own little shopping mall, in essence, inside of themselves. They have all of the ingredients to be able to conceptually align with whatever kind of shop and whatever kind of business that they conceptually could be able to decorate their own little shop with in any given space that they could conceptually put it in. And in this thing called the metaverse, which is a conceptual place on the internet, in essence, in the future, in the present, in whatever it is, in virtual reality, anybody can also draw upon that conceptual ability to be able to make this type of a conceptual place where anything is possible within their world of conceptual space, where they make the rules, they make the adjustments, they make the ability to be able to have any given place and type of business and perspective and experience and surroundings that they might want to see in this place that is an ecosystem that has to do with a person's direct personality and direct personality traits and direct characteristics that are illuminating the rest of the world by developing a business that is highlighting in and adding value to the rest of the global philanthropy energy grid and all other humans in the world, by trying to solve problems, by trying to solve significant problems within that shop, within that space, which ultimately entails what is happening inside of any given human being that is possibly connecting to all the potential of all given human beings in the whole entire world to be able to solve problems. Yeah, that's connected to philanthropy. Yeah, that's connected to the global philanthropy energy grid. Yeah, that's connected to the mindset that connects us all, and all this electricity. In essence, yeah, so what we want to try to do in today's exercise is be able to dive deep into the bones and inside of the human mind and inside of the human body, to be able to reach inside and find certain asset energies that are inside of the human body, and be able to try to identify by layering the different emotions in the human body, by layering every emotion that happens within a certain specific human, by going inside of the self, by being able to try to identify and just focus on what we're talking about right now, but going inside of the self and trying to make layers like lasagna of every single emotion that's inside of you necessarily, and try to prioritize the ones and put the ones that are assets sort of on the bottom or towards the bottom, to be able to try to keep track of them and keep them sort of like to float to the bottom of the pool, if you will, of the puddle of your insides, to be able to just try to focus on those asset energies, to be able to focus on those first, to be able to try to push them towards the bottom of the pile, in essence, but be able to try to think of every single emotion like a different color, in essence, like a rainbow, more or less like a rainbow, like, in essence, like a magic trick, like when a magician in the past, you've seen them swallow that scarf that is all different colors, in essence, and they pull a scarf outside of them, out of themselves, that is like 8 feet long, or 20 feet long, or 70 feet long. That, in essence, is the scarf that the magician is using to be able to, in this instance, in this example that we're drawing, in this podcast that we're trying to be able to draw that magician example, like every single color on those scarves, in essence, that are 8 miles long, that they pull out of themselves as magicians, are all different emotions, more or less, that are all different emotions that are priorities in terms of developing a priority stack of emotions that, in essence, is meant to be able to align like an asset energy. And that asset energy is meant to align itself so that ultimately it's the most optimized order of operations, so that all those emotions are able to flow together, so that all of them accesses a green light energy that accesses a flow of positive energy from all of those emotions, stacking together in an optimized fashion, so that all of those conceptual senses, all of those aspects of attention, all of those items that correspond to differing items that irk different aspects of different directions of emotions from a human, from different thoughts, from different items of attention, to be able to provoke oneself, to be able to stack an asset stack of energy inside of oneself, like a sandwich that is made of assets only. So what we want to do is actually be able to try to, in this example, just like the sort of magician shop example, to be able to pull that scarf out from inside of the self, pull the whole thing outside from inside of the self, but at the same time, keeping track of the asset energies that you push towards the bottom, the ones that you prioritize, the ones that you feel like are strengths, in essence, to be able to have those at the end of the scarf, so they'll be able to come out of the scarf at the end of the scarf, in essence, more or less. So, but what we want to do in this example is we want to try to pull out the whole scarf nonetheless, and we want to put it all on the table. We want to just be able to just kind of try to keep track, because we push those asset energies to the bottom and keep those asset energies at the bottom of the scarf, more or less, as we continue to pull out the scarf out of the insides and be able to try to continue to pull it out, all of these emotions are coming out in this visualization conceptual exercise. So we're trying to pull out the whole scarf, yeah. Yes, we want to pull out the whole scarf, pull out. So pull out the whole scarf and put it on the table. Now it's pull it out. Up. Now it's put on the table. So pull out the whole scarf and put it on the table. And now, in a conceptual mindset sense, what we want to do is re-cleanse. We want to put an ointment of blessing. We want to put an ointment of appreciation. We want to put an ointment of spirituality, cleansing waves over the whole entire item that is the scarf that connects all of these emotions together. It's the binding thing. It is the theme. It is the one underlining theme that connects all of these emotions within one long fabric scarf that connects all of them together. And that is business music. That is business music that's aligned with the heart, that connects to the core purpose of a principle's human's purpose and existence as a whole. And that is what connects all of these items in the fabric, that connects all of these emotions together, more or less, on this whole entire magic scarf that was just pulled out from all different colors, that now we're going to turn into electricity. We're going to turn all of these emotions on this scarf into electricity, and we're going to throw the electricity into the sky. But at the same time, while we're just having it hover into the sky, we're not having it go directly into the sky. We want to be able to focus on it, and we want to be able to cleanse it. And as it's floating in front of you, you want to be able to wash it off with a little bit of water. Wash it off with some water, cleanse it, blow on it, let the water just sort of float around it, because in this mystical visualization example, water can float. So let that water float around it, let it hover around it, and put a little soap on it as well. Have these emotions become cleansed. We want to cleanse these emotions with a little bit of the concepts of the universal philanthropy energy grid. We want the global philanthropy energy grid to be able to try to align with the scarf. We want to be able to align with the scarf and sort of wash that scarf with the global philanthropy energy grid and the energy that's surrounding all people, just like electricity that's in the air, more or less, and kind of wash that off with the philanthropy energy from around the whole world, the global philanthropy energy grid, which you can grab from the air. It's in the air floating, so you can wash off that scarf, all of these emotions, every single emotion that you've got, you can cleanse it all, cleanse the whole scarf with global philanthropy energy grid energy, which is floating all around us in the world, and it's just made around philanthropy. It's just philanthropy energy. It's the idea of doing good deeds, and that's philanthropy energy, more or less. So we want to cleanse all these energies, and that will retune and refocus and repurpose all of the energies on this scarf to then, in essence, more or less, you can push that scarf Now that it's cleansed, push it all the way down inside of yourself, push that back down inside of yourself, just like the magician shop. But at the same time, we want to remember, just like an inside of a shop, that you have your own shop inside of yourself. And now this is a reminder, because you've just done magic and you've pushed that scarf back into your shop. So you've re-cleansed all of these elements of all of this optimization of entrepreneurship energy and all of these layers, just like lasagna, that you push back inside of yourself, that's now cleansed by philanthropy energy, because you just re-cleansed all of your scarf's energy and emotions and all of the positive energy and emotions from a healing process, that you just healed the whole scarf and all of your emotions and just cleanse them and re-cleanse them all, just like a baptism process. You just baptized your scarf of every single emotion of all of the different colors. And so push it back inside yourself like a dipstick that you push into the engine of a car. Push that dipstick back inside of yourself in this visualization. Push all of those colors back inside of yourself, and they're mystified and they're electrified colors at the same time, because they've just been electrified by the global philanthropy energy grid. And now that these colors are inside of yourself and they're re-cleansed and they're repurposed and they're energized and with different new unique molecules that have never been experienced before, because they've been cleansed from the toxicity of all of the monetary energy molecules that have been dusting and hurting and been toxifying and been toxic to the scarf and all of those emotions on the scarf in the past, and the attention that corresponds to the scarf of all the different emotions in the past. It is cleansed of new emotion and new feeling and new direction with global philanthropy energy. Global philanthropy energy as the new direction, guiding purpose, principle, material that is focused on where all of this energy is coming from and going from and guiding from and perpetually being generated by and for and from and to in the future, now that this cleansing has occurred. So now, for the purpose of global betterment, let's take and grab that dipstick once more and grab all of that scarf and that magic scarf of all of these different emotions that are layered, including the asset energies that are at the bottom, because they've now all become asset energies, more or less. They're all now asset energies. So let's grab that scarf, that whole dipstick scarf, and pull it out of the engine, withdraw it from the engine, and now that it's become electrified and electric energy, let's grab the dipstick and the whole scarf, now that your whole body has been re-cleansed and your shop has been repurposed into the global philanthropy energy grid, purposeful shop of entrepreneurship, goodness that you want it to become. Your purpose is aligned with the shop that is inside of yourself, and you can become any business that you want, because your business and your shop inside of yourself as a human being, and anywhere you travel, your shop will travel with it. Your shop will travel with you, and you're now open for business. You're open for business to be cleansed as a global philanthropy energy grid philanthropist, being able to re-cleanse anybody that is able to experience your shop at the same time. And anytime they experience you, they experience all of the good positive energy that you're selling. That positive energy is you that they're buying, and you are selling in essence from now on, because you are cleansed by global philanthropy energy grid. And this is a new repurposeful baptism, which is not the right word, but it's a re-cleansing of, in essence, a different mindset that guides a spiritual purpose and process and material that happens to be global philanthropy energy and the global philanthropy energy grid. So now that you've grabbed all this scarf again, this magic scarf from yourself, withdraw it from yourself once more, because you've already installed all of the magic good emotions that are re-purified and cleansed, and then pull the scarf out of all the different emotions and all the different colors of the emotions in the scarf, and let it fly, push it into the air, it will start flying, it'll start flying magically, it will be floating up into the air. And so everybody, as you can see, as you look up into the sky, all of these floating scarves are now floating up into the sky. They're all being caught by the wind, and they're all floating and flowing together, and they're all creating electricity, purposeful electricity that's catching onto each other, and the rainbows of electricity are catching onto with each other, and all of the fabrics of the weaving fabrics of all of these scarves that are 8 miles long, each of them are all connecting to each other from all of the human beings all around the world, to be able to continue to be able to connect to and add context to and add value to and add more philanthropy energy to the global philanthropy energy grid by this electricity, but now being able to sail together, and all of the humans being able to heal themselves and work with themselves to be able to continue to heal themselves, just like this healing process and this healing ceremony and this healing conceptualization mindset flow in the past, present, and future, now in the future, going forward into the future, because we've just cleansed ourselves with philanthropy energy. So now we've got all of our stacks of emotions and our stacks of cleansed attention and our stacks of cleansed asset energy all aligning towards the same purpose and towards the same principles and towards the same betterment interest for all human beings and all animals to be able to live and align side by side in harmony, in harmonious energies. Now that we're talking about business music on the paper, now that we're focusing on that ceremony end result by cleansing all of ourselves and all of our mindsets, people and animals, and all of our animal living energies on this planet, aligning in harmony, harmonious mindsets aligned with global philanthropy energy grid and the global philanthropy energy grid and global philanthropy energy. That's all for now. Diggy Tech, bye, peace, bye. Dink Tech, Dink Tech, Change for Games, Dinky Tech, and Change for Game Studios. Bye, peace, bye.